Hello everybody, my name is Drew O'Neill from PM Music and Education Center, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about tuning violins, violas, cello, and basses today. Let's get started. We tune violins and violas through either our fine tuners, which are the most common way that we tune them, or with our pegs. Very rarely do we want to touch the pegs unless you're an advanced or intermediate student. You can see that I have the snark tuner clipped onto the scroll of my violin or viola, and it's pointed towards me so I can see it. Right now it shows me that the A string is very flat because the tuner is to the left of the middle bar. It shows up as red. So now I'm going to adjust the fine tuner on my A string to the right to bring the string up in tune. The snark tuner will color yellow when the A string is in tune. And you're good to go. Next, let's look at tuning with the pegs. Be very careful because it is easy to snap a string if you tune the peg too far. It's easiest if you take the violin or viola and brace it against your body with your left and right hands holding it at the ribs. This gives you plenty of control when dealing with the pegs and stability. Then the first step in using the pegs is you always want to make sure you don't tighten anything too much or loosen them too much, because then you can damage the instrument. So first, let's take a look. This is our D string, and it's unfortunately on a C, so we know it's radically out of tune. So I always loosen it first. This gives us a little bit more leeway in the string, and now it's much easier to tighten. And check this out. If I pluck the string and tune on the peg, the snark tuner will automatically pick up how much I tighten it by, so it's very easy to get in tune. Always remember, you want to tune in small amounts on the peg. Never twist one way or the other. Now let's look at tuning the cello, where we would use the fine tuners about 50% of the time, and most players learn how to use the pegs pretty quickly. Let's start by tuning with the fine tuners on our cello. Looks like our A string is a little bit flat, and I know it is because it shows up as red on our snark tuner. So I'm going to twist the fine tuner associated with the A string to the right. Until it comes in tune. Next, let's look at tuning with the pegs. My A string is pretty flat, my fine tuner is not going to cut it. So I need to hold the cello in a way where I can grip the pegs up here and have stability. So if I put one knee on the rib on the side and the other knee into the other rib, I can grip it between my legs, so now my hands have free movement of the pegs. Now let's tune our A string using our pegs. So you can see that my tuner says it's an F sharp, which is very, very flat because we want it to be an A. So I'm going to grip the cello, like we showed you earlier, with a leg on either side, gripping with my knees. And I'm going to pluck using my left hand, which frees up my right hand to grip the peg itself. Always loosen beforehand. This gives the peg a little bit more flexibility. And then grip it tightly, pushing in. As you push up, I'm going to slowly turn the peg. Notice how I went in small twists at a time to make sure I did not go over the A as I was tuning. Next, let's look at tuning the bass. Basses are pretty lucky because they don't have to deal with fine tuners, they only have to worry about their pegs. So I'm going to start by plucking the string, which registers as an F, and I know it wants to be a G, so the string is very flat. The snark tuner, by the way, can attach to the bridge, but I'm holding it here so I can see it better. I'll pluck the string, and I'm going to follow it up to the peg box and find the knob that is wound around, which is that second one right there. That tells me that this is going to adjust the G string for me, and that's the one that I'm going to use. So I'm going to pluck the string, and then slowly twisting to the right, I'm going to raise the note to bring it in tune. Notice how I'm going small amounts and then plucking the string again to make sure that I don't over-tune the instrument and I get to the right note. Thank you for joining me, everybody. The tuner I used today was a Snark clip-on metronome tuner. This is very nice because it can clip on to any instrument at any part, and it helps tell me exactly where the note is in tune, and it has a metronome attached. We also have our PM tuner, which works just as well and comes with a clip-on attachment, or our chord tuner metronomes. If you play on a string instrument, make sure you have a metronome tuner that has a clip-on microphone attachment so you tune just yourself and not your stand partner.